I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast, From My Head to Your Ears, and it's my favorite time of year now. It's fall. Well, it's really meteorological fall. Fall doesn't begin till, September 20 what? I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up and see when fall begins exactly. But, boy, I really come prepared, don't I? But I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to talk about my favorite. I think this is my favorite time of year, fall. I'll be right back. I'm Leonard Riggs. This is From My Head to Your Ears. I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast, From My Head to Your Ears. And I'm here to talk about fall, my favorite time of year. I was supposed to go look up when fall was, but I forgot to look it up. I'll do it in the next segment. But anyway, I hate summer, despise it. I don't like the heat. I just don't like it. And I had a couple of family tragedies at the beginning and the end. I lost my mom at the beginning of summer, lost my sister, Loretta, at the end of summer. I plan to do a little tribute on my sister when I feel more up to it. It's kind of hard now, but I don't want to do anything. I don't want to be sad because I have a lot of funny stories about my sister. She was amazing, but that'll be in another podcast, and I love you forever, Lori. So anyway, fall was her favorite time of season, too. She used to do crafts and things. Anyway, I think that's where we were really alike. But fall brings Halloween and Thanksgiving, and really the Christmas season takes place in the first part or the last part of fall. So I just love this time. The holidays are coming up. There's just an excitement in the air when fall, the cool breeze comes in after a hot summer. The colors get amazing. And used to, when I was a kid, it also meant the new cartoon season. I think that's maybe where that comes from. Because I used to love, like, when September got there, of course, it was kind of a drag to school started. But then again, your new Saturday morning cartoons would come in, and they would do the special evening Saturday morning preview on each of the networks. And I was all about that. Kind of funny, speaking of that, back in the day, we couldn't pick up our local NBC channel, WPSD, very well. So most of my cartoons were watched on CBS and ABC, which was KFVS 12 in Cape Girardeau and WSIL in Harrisburg, Illinois. At that time, Harrisburg. They're now in Carterville, but at that time, they were Harrisburg, Illinois. Their studios were there. But I remember fondly waiting on the cartoons, and that was such a big deal for me back in that day. And also, weekends became important when school started. So, it was just exciting to have something to look forward to on the weekends. And they did not disappoint. We had some great cartoons in my era. Of course, I'm talking about fall, and I'm talking about watching TV. Go figure, right? Nothing outdoors. But as for outdoors, it was fun to have leaves raked and jumping in a pile of leaves. I love jacket weather. I love the cooler air. I breathe better this time of year. Well, around here we have a lot of farming, and when the harvesting season's over, I breathe better. Let me just put it that way. But I don't even care about that. I don't know. I just have an affinity for fall weather. I used to say spring was my favorite, but then that leads to summer and although I'm not a big fan of winter either. So I guess I'm admitting that I'm just happy for one season of the year anymore. But it's not really like that. It's just I really just love this time of year. There's a lot to be excited about. Of course, I'm planning my Leonard Riggs 2024 Halloween Film Festival, which comes up the 1st of October. I watch a scary movie a night for the whole month of October, and I am preparing that, and that will go on as usual. I'm just trying to keep myself busy, trying to plan activities for myself to keep myself going. One big activity I need to do is clean my house. I still have a mess here. I've inherited the house, so I really want to be in a project to make it mine, because I think it'd be easier. Right now, this house is kind of lonely, even though I do have my cats. But I need to just make it more me, because right now it doesn't feel like my house. It feels like my parents' house still, and that's not a bad thing, really. But it also is sad for me, because I sit here and I think about all the memories, and I'm a little too soon into grief, so I'm not exactly, that doesn't make me happy. Exactly. It just kind of makes me sad. But I'm very good about keeping myself occupied. Right now I'm sleeping a lot, but that's just another story. We're talking about fall, and I'm digressing. My favorite, though, thing about fall is the fall colors. We have lots of trees around here. I have a line of trees that go up Ollie Street, which is just to the west of my house. And, oh, they're gorgeous. They are gumball trees, though. They kind of get the gumballs all over the road and stuff. But I always take an annual picture, or a semi-annual picture of those trees, because they're just so pretty. I mean, they're the most colorful trees. Gumball trees are beautiful trees. They're kind of a pain in the butt, but they are beautiful. I used to take my long walks, and I loved going in the fall. Taking pictures of the autumn leaves with the sunset were always a favorite of mine. Of course, I also call this football season. Never was a big fan of football, but I have enjoyed going to see football games when my nephews played. And that was a lot of fun. You put a sweater on, and, you know, there's something exciting about seeing a football game in the fall. Plus, that was my dad's big thing, football season. That would always come on for him. And the sound of football playing on the television is so nostalgic for me. Sometimes I just turn it on when I miss my dad, just to hear the noise. But he used to get so excited about football. Watching him watching football was actually more entertaining than watching football, because he would get so excited. And that's the only time I really heard my dad curse a lot, is when he watched football. He would scream expletives at the screen quite often. I do somewhere have a video of him and the excitement of football that he would get. It was so funny. Like I said, he was really animated when he watched football. But it also brought back memories, because the fall TV season would come in and all the new TV shows would debut, and that was always fun. I don't really watch a lot of new television anymore. Matter of fact, I don't really watch any of it. I have a Roku, and I watch a lot of old shows. I guess I'm buried in the past, I guess. But that's true. But that used to be a big thing for me, too, was watching television shows in their new season. But I don't know. I also, I love the feeling of being like in a sweatshirt, sweatpants, and it makes me more cozy around the house. You can kind of get comfortable. I hate being hot, but I can always get cooler. Let's say, how can I put that? I can always get, no, wait a minute. I can always get warmer, but I can't get cooler. Yeah, I can always put more layers of clothes on or whatever and get warm or cover up. But in the cold or the heat of the summer, it's just some days when the air conditioning doesn't work. Ugh, I just hate that. I hate being hot, and just don't like it at all. There's nothing more calming to me than an autumn rain. I don't know why that is so peaceful. Yeah. Well, truthfully, there's nothing more peaceful than rain, period, if we'd ever get it around here. Summer storms are kind of nice when they bring a cool breeze in. But, again, I digress. I digress a lot, don't I? Well, I'm going to take this short break, and I think I'm going to have a cup of coffee, and I'll be right back. I'm Leonard Riggs. This is my podcast, From My Head to Your Ears. I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is From My Head to Your Ears, and I'm talking about fall, my favorite time of year. And I did look it up. Sunday, September 22nd, 2024, is the first day of fall, the first official day. But as weathermen will tell you, September 1st is the first day of meteorological fall. Right now in southern Illinois, we're experiencing kind of very pleasant weather, very cool nights, and not so bad daytime temperatures. We're supposed to have another warm up next week, but I think maybe that'll be summer's last hurrah. That generally happens around here. Usually gets really hot and then it cools off and it stays that way. I'm hoping so, because although it wasn't a real bad summer, we have had a lot of humidity, and I'm so sick of the humidity. But anyway, fall is my favorite time of year. I really love to go take walks this time of year. A few years ago when I was doing my walking, I actually did enjoy the summer as I would sweat off the pounds, but in the fall, it was nice to put a little sweatshirt on and look at the colors all over Christopher, Illinois. That's one thing we do have here in Southern Illinois is beautiful colors of the leaves. And when you finally get that first really chilly night, enough to paint the leaves, they're beautiful fall colors. Oh, the colors around here are brilliant. They're just something to look at. They actually take your breath away when the sunlight shines on those leaves when they're yellow and red and all the beautiful fall colors. Of course, some will say, I hate raking leaves, but, I love the smell of leaves in the fall, too. My dad used to mow over them. I don't have any trees in my yard anymore. For some reason, all my trees died. That's true. I had, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 trees in my yard. They're all gone. So I don't really have a leaf problem here. Just maybe a stray. Hi, Livy. Livy is joining the podcast. Can you say anything to our listeners, kid? No, she's not quite awake yet. She's making biscuits on my shoulder right now. She's my roomie right now because, my Bitsy May has gone evil and she picks on Livy for some reason. It used to be the other way around, but now Livy's the victim and she's hiding out in my room. That's fine. She's a good roomie. Again, digressing. I love my Livy. I was talking about walking around and seeing the leaf colors. I really like. It's my favorite time of year to take pictures. I think I was talking about that in the last segment. There's nothing more beautiful than a sunset and the fall leaves. You just can't beat that. When I was a kid, of course, my dad made us put our bikes up when it got cooler. That was kind of sucky, but we didn't. I enjoyed to be outside a lot more. Of course, I said jumping in leaves and having fun and all that stuff. And right now, I'm trying to get my house in order for the upcoming holiday season. And I really should be doing that instead of doing a podcast. But in a minute, I'm going to get up and enjoy the day because it's my last day off before I go back to work tomorrow. Around here, too, the DuQuoin State Fair runs from the end of August to Labor Day. It's 9 days, and I always call that, when it's over, the end of the summer season at my employment. And I always am so excited to get that over with. I'm not griping about the fair because it does bring a lot of revenue into our area, and of late their shows haven't been the greatest, but they do have some shows for everybody, some entertainment shows for everybody. I wish they would have some for me because I never seem to have anybody I would even want to go see. But for the area as a whole and people in general, there's something for everybody there. But it's kind of a crazy busy time at my store. COVID kind of knocked the way out of the fair, and it's never been quite the same. I think it's finally kind of coming back to itself. But this year I thought was busier than last year. Especially Labor Day, we were super swamped. There's such a relief when that's over. I don't have a million people asking me where my restrooms are, which is a big in-joke with me and my favorite people around here. Excuse me, where are your restrooms? How do you get to the restrooms? Do you know where your restrooms are? That's always a big thing. And when that's over, it's like, and the hunting season starts around here, which is exciting for a lot of people. I'm not a hunter, but I enjoy seeing my friends and favorite customers go hunting. They always stop in, they get their stuff on their way. So it used to be a tradition in my job where I work, and I shall remain nameless. If you don't remain nameless. I thought I said rename. Remain nameless. I get dyslexic when I'm kind of tired. I don't know why. I digress. I think I should call my podcast I Digress. But anyway, or help me, I'm talking too much. Parentheses, I digress. But no, hunting season is always a big deal around Southern Illinois. A lot of guys go hunting. And a lot of my customers back in the day when I worked midnight shifts, it was tradition for me to be there on opening day of duck season. And I enjoyed watching the generations of guys, starting off with and taking their children, and then their children growing up and taking their children and their fathers, and just that generational traditional thing. I enjoyed seeing that firsthand, and I made a lot of friends in those days, a lot of lasting friends with those guys, and I kind of look forward to hunting season for that very reason. It's a big deal when you have your opening days here, especially shotgun season for deer season, which is around Thanksgiving time, I believe. And that's always something in the fall. There's a lot more to do in the fall, I think. Well, I don't know. We live by Rent Lake, so if you enjoy water sports and things, summertime, there's a lot to do in the summertime. But I think people that hunt are really passionate about hunting, and they really look forward to fall as well. So there's that too, and I enjoy seeing them enjoy themselves. I really do. Also, it's hot beverage season. And of course, the girls in your life are going to love the pumpkin spice cappuccino and flavors and all that stuff. I personally don't like pumpkin spice. The only thing pumpkin I like is I like jack-o'-lanterns, and I like pumpkin cheesecake. It is amazing. But other than that, I'm not a pumpkin fan so much. Pumpkin bread is also really good. Of course, I love Thanksgiving. Halloween's one thing, but Thanksgiving's another food season. This year's going to be kind of weird because I don't have my mom anymore, so I may go to my sister's for Thanksgiving, or I may just make myself a little Thanksgiving dinner and just sit there and enjoy Thanksgiving Day. I'll probably work a little. I always do. But Halloween is my absolute favorite. As you know, I do my film festival, and I just love Halloween. My house is in such a horrible state right now. I'm not going to be able to decorate or anything inside. I had planned to do that. I was going to take some time off, but that kind of fell through, and I didn't have time to straighten out my house like I wanted to, so maybe next year. So, but anyway, I will hang some kind of thing on my door. I have this cool sign that says, "Beware of killer cats," or something like that I like to put on my door, because, boy, that's the truth. Like I said, my Bitsy May's kind of gone psychotic. One minute she's the sweetest little kitty in the world, next minute she's chasing after Sunny and Livy. For some reason, she doesn't fight so much with her family, Kira, Isaac, and her mama, Nacho, but Sunny and Livy she goes after. And poor little Sunny, he doesn't do anything. She just goes after him, and he's kind of standing his ground. But like I said, Livy's kind of taking a hole in my bedroom, so that's fine. She's a good roomie. I probably repeated myself then, didn't I? Senility is setting in early. Well, depending on who you talk to. I'm 57 years old. If you talk to some of my younger listeners, I think I'm already old, so, but that's... I'm in the autumn of my life as well as it being autumn. Sorry. But I love having a jack-o'-lantern each year. I love it that mine always die before Halloween. I mean, they just get smushy. And it was a tradition of mine also to place my melting pumpkin out in the outside and watch it kind of decay. And just kind of take pictures of it, put them on Snapchat. I don't know why I enjoy that, but I just do. It's kind of weird, but I am weird. I admit that. But we've got a lot of pumpkin patches around here, and I have a lot of friends who have pumpkin patches. The Versalinos have a nice pumpkin patch around here. The Dentons have a pumpkin patch at Tamaro called Value Farms. I said Versalinos, Value Farms. My cousin Gary, his granddaughter, has her pumpkin patch in Ziegler. There's a pumpkin patch in Johnson City, Illinois. Johnson City, Illinois. Apparently I can't say Johnson City very well either. I found out the other day I can't say firefarters. I can't say that. Again, I digress, but I can't say firefarters or Johnson City. Well, hell. Anyway. Oh, I just got a PG for cussing. Now I'll have to put a warning on my podcast because Leonard said a bad word. But, Leonard says lots of bad words, but he doesn't do it on his podcast. That's a no-no. I've always asked my friend Brandon Gilman to join me on my podcast, but he won't do it. But his mouth gets him in trouble all the time. Maybe it's a good thing. But, it reminds me, he used to stand up there during the Duquoin Fair after he got off work at his job, which was another convenience store down the road. And he'd stop by before he went home. He stayed with me when he lived in Illinois. And usually he'd get some grub. And he'd stand by there. And inadvertently, he'd say something that would offend somebody. And someone would threaten to knock his lights out. I mean, that poor guy. It just happened all the time. But poor Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Oh, he hates that, by the way. But back to the jack-o'-lanterns. Um, I also get, we have the fruit fly thing, when it warms up a little bit, I get the fruit flies in my pumpkins too. It's so aggravating. When I lived on Baki Street, it was almost every Halloween when I put my jack-o'-lantern out. On Halloween night, someone would steal my pumpkin. And I never did figure out who that was. So if you're out there listening, good one, because I never figured you out. I never had a clue that they always stole my pumpkin. That doesn't happen here. At least it probably will now that I've brought it up. But I don't put my pumpkin outside. I keep it in the house for my own entertainment. Or I'll put it on the back porch. Well, I can't right now. My back porch is not usable. It's full of stuff. Since I moved here to my parents' house, I look like a hoarder right now. I brought some of the stuff from my house and nothing's in its place. I was busy taking care of Mom, and now I've got a whole big bunch of stuff I need to sort and organize. I really thought about throwing everything away and starting all over again, but that's just another story altogether. I'm not even talking about fall at this point, am I? Back to the pumpkins. I think the Versalinos have huge pumpkins. I love theirs. My cousin Gary's are very pretty. But the Dentons do something to their pumpkins where they last. And I think it's a family secret. But they sell out really well. And they're a little too far for me. If my friend Will would speak to me, maybe he could deliver one. Hint, hint, if you're out there. I'm laughing. That'll never happen. I tell you, if Will ever speaks to me again, you will hear angels singing in the sky. It'll be a joyous. I think I'll take a picture and make it my Christmas cards and say "Peace on Earth," because I made that poor guy mad years ago, and he still won't speak to me. So, and he's a state policeman. Go figure. Don't ask me what I did to make you mad. I Snapchatted too much, I guess. I honestly don't really know. It's just one of those mysteries in life. I'm digressing again. I'm talking about fall, Leonard. Stick to the subject. Oh my, pumpkins. I was talking about pumpkins, right? Anyway, my pumpkins always just cave in, and it's so annoying. I did have a Halloween tree that was so cool, but my cats kind of just tore it up. They don't like trees. I found a place to put my Christmas tree. Actually, they don't really bother my Christmas tree. Actually, Sunny and Bitsy May love to sleep under the tree, but I have to put it in the corner where nobody can see it. I generally like a Christmas tree in the window, but that doesn't ever happen. I think I'm going to take a break, and I'll be right back with some more about fall and whatever else I want to talk about, because fall is my actual subject, even though I've talked about everything else in between. So I'll be right back. I'm Leonard Riggs. This is my podcast, From My Head to Your Ears. I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast, From My Head to Your Ears. I've been talking about autumn, and I am wrapping this up now. Thank you for listening. I hope you've enjoyed this podcast. It was kind of a nice diversion for what's going on in my life now, as I mentioned earlier on. It's nice to think of funny things and fun things, and to keep yourself going when you're deep in grief. And again, I always appreciate you guys listening. I love doing my podcasts. I promise I'm going to continue on, and hopefully I'll have lots of more fun things to say. And of course, you never know what I'm going to come up with, and I never know what I'm going to come up with either. Sometimes I just let it go and just go with the flow. But yeah, I'm glad you enjoy these, and I hope you enjoyed this one. I kind of had fun with this one, and it's good to laugh and to think about nice things. So thank you again for listening. I can't thank you enough. I'm Leonard Riggs, and this has been my podcast, From My Head to Your Ears. Happy fall, everybody.